I don't understand this right here. It's because my hair is just getting longer than I like. I gotta cut all this before New Year's Eve. I'm going out on New Year's Eve. Derek is playing at the Sidecar in South Haven. I'm gonna be there. Skylar's going to be there, and I need to cut my hair and dye it also, just because I like to. All right, this video has nothing to do with any of that. Here's what I'm going to try. I have an old channel that I haven't uploaded to in years. I could have looked. Let me look. I can't believe I haven't uploaded to that channel in 6 years. I didn't even know I had that channel that long. Yes, I did, because shortly after I started this main channel, I wanted to do crafts, and I thought that needed a whole different channel because I didn't know what I was doing back in those days. So I started another channel, and I did some doodling, some paper beads. Skylar and her brother and my little niece did some drawing that I would do in fast speed for them, and some other silly things, whatever. This channel is not monetized now. It was monetized for a long time, but then it stopped getting enough watch hours, so no monetization. And that's okay. I thought of putting a few things on there, but no, I'm just gonna let that channel sit there, and you know, sometimes things will come back. It just needs, you know, people to watch. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a video from that channel, like I've done with my doodling. I brought them over to this channel, so they're on both channels, but you have to make changes or YouTube will see it as like a copyright issue, even though they're, you know, my videos. I don't need any red flags or things like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm doing this intro, and I'm going to explain to you what you're about to see and tell you a couple things about it, and then you're going to just see that video. I have it ready in my editor. I downloaded it from the other channel, and I'm just going to put it up and recycle a video, and so I'm calling this Blast from the Past. And I watched it, kind of have to if I want to know what I'm about to show you. And it is, let me give you some things here. It was uploaded January 16, 2016, BC. That is before carnivore. And you'll know the difference when you see. And then it got, I was surprised, 33,800 views. But it only made a total in all these years $74.50. I thought that had to be a mistake, but the CPM, that's the cost per click type thing, whatever, per view, and it was much lower back then. And that's why. Now a video for me today, especially something crafty, something with that many views, would make me $600, $700, $800, and can keep growing. I have some videos that made that much in the beginning, and then nothing, it's flat line, and then all of a sudden it gets new life, and you know, earns me nice chunks of money. One that I did not too long ago, before I moved, I had found a crocheted bag. That's right. And I had told you in that video at the time how much that earned, and I put that bag on eBay, and that video is still bringing in a couple $100 a month. I mean, just something that I did a long time ago. So it's really cool. It's cool how the evergreen stuff works. That's why all these things, all these car vlogs that I do, they can earn me a nice little chunk now. My vlogs like that, car vlogs, back in the day, I was lucky if I made 10 bucks. Seriously. Now I have more subscribers, so I do make a nice little chunk, sometimes $50 to $100 on a car vlog, but then I never make money off that again. But things like sewing, crochet, all that stuff, paper beads, things like that, those are things that people can watch all the time. Nobody's looking or searching for Darlene Michaud car vlog, Walmart, tag along, whatever, you know. So those videos are just, you get paid once, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going to try to recycle this. I don't think it's going to get that many views. Right now, everybody's been complaining that 2022 is slow. December is usually the best month, and across the board, it's not like it used to be. So I'm earning like half of what I would have earned last December. So, but it is what it is, you know? Okay, so yes, in the video, I'm heavier and it shows. And I had my wedding ring on, and see, there's always going to be a mark there. I don't know if you can see it. And I was bigger, and so my wedding ring couldn't come off. And I used to get shit about that. It was disgusting. Seeing that ring embedded in that big fat finger of yours. I mean, just stuff like that. And people used to tell me, have that ring cut off. And I didn't. I wouldn't do it. I knew someday I'd lose weight and the ring would come off, and I lost enough weight and the ring came off. I have it. I have my ring. So I didn't have to cut it. And somebody said I was even going to lose my finger. I was going to lose my finger because of that ring. Like I would let that happen. Do you really think that I would be like, oh man, this is getting bad. I think I'm going to lose this finger. As if I would do that. What else did I notice? I was off camera a bit. I was like new to doing overhead stuff. But I think I did an okay job. No Mod Podge. I was like, why am I covering those beads with acrylic gloss thing? Maybe I just didn't know about Mod Podge yet. I don't know. I said something in this video about I had made a bead video before. I don't know if I had Mod Podge there. Anyway, I used some gloss stuff that I don't even remember that I had. My mother's TV is on in the background in this video, like in the old days. So you'll hear that. And then the worst thing is at the end, I do a little slideshow of the beads, and I don't know if that was the one I made on camera, but the front one was a hot mess. Paper all like slid. Why would I have just taken pictures of that? A couple of the others are hot messes also, but there's like a purplish one that I really liked. I don't know. I'm just going to send you to that video now, and you can go watch all that stuff. Okay, and I think I said somewhere in that video about leave a comment. Obviously, those were the days when I had comments on, so that doesn't mean the comments will be on this one. And I hope you enjoy a little bit. Maybe you'll learn something. The reason I even thought of this is because I want to make paper beads again, and I went to my old channel to see what the hell I did with paper beads, and I really want to get going with that again. Okay, so just watch. Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene. I have another bead tutorial for you tonight, and I'm going to try to show you up close the kind of bead I'm going to show you how to make. I am calling this one a layered tapered bead. It is straight cuts of paper, so this is a good one for those of you who don't care to do the triangle cuts. But yet it's a little bit more advanced, a little bit fancier. So, it's a good way for you guys to experiment with doing something other than just the one single roll of paper. This one is layered. So it looks like this. See if I can get it to focus. See how it tapers and goes in like steps? But yet it has that layered look, and it allows you to play with different colors. This one is made with magazine pages, which is what I will be showing you how to do tonight. And then I made one a little bit more colorful. You can see how it has a tapered shape, but yet straight cuts of paper. And then I made one other one. This one's in black and gray. I like it. So let's move on over to my crafts section, and I'm going to show you how to cut your papers and how to make these beads. And do subscribe to this channel because I will be doing a lot of bead tutorials, and even if you have made hundreds of kinds of beads. I'm going to probably show you some things that you might not have seen before, because I actually just come up with things sometimes and I look to see on YouTube if anybody else has done it, and believe it or not, sometimes I have a hard time finding the things that I do. Like, I love to use the magazine pages for the colors. I like to look at the magazines to see what colors would make perfect beads, but sometimes a page doesn't always have the perfect colors that I want, or only half of the page does. Well, I have found a lot of different ways to like put magazine pages together to make the kind of pages that I want to use for when I'm making beads. So just please subscribe, and I'm sure that you'll learn something, and if not, well, then maybe you can teach me something by leaving a comment and letting me know how you do things. So that's it. Let's go on over to my crafting station and make some beads. Okay, before I start, I want to show you my new little invention. This is a pie plate that had sweet potato pie in it that I got from my mother. And when I was about to throw out the plate, I noticed it had little holes in it already, like, you know, pre-cut little holes. So I stuck some toothpicks in there, and that is what I use now to dry my beads on. And it works perfectly. I love it. Okay, I am going to start with this bead here. This is my 1-inch layered tapered bead, and you'll notice there's 4 steps. So it's up to you as to what kind of colors you want to use. I will be using magazine pages. You are certainly free to design your own paper like I've shown you before in previous video, so you can always go back and check that, or use a magazine, and don't be overly concerned about colors. At this point, you just want to learn how to make the bead. For the 1-inch bead, we need 4 strips of paper, and I found this awesome magazine page with this aqua. So I am going to cut 2 strips out of this color. I want a 1-inch, and then I also want a 1/2 inch. Then I want some of this black, so I'm going to do a 3/4 inch and a 1/4 inch. So what you end up with is, you just end up with your steps. There's 1 inch, a 3/4 inch, a 1/2 inch, and a 1/4 inch. And you want them with the various colors. You know, it can be the same. You can do whatever you want, but this way we'll have the beads showing, like, it'll have aqua black, aqua black. So let's just get going here. I'm going to start with my 1-inch strip. Ooh, I want the aqua to be the part that shows up on my bead, so that goes at the bottom of my strip, and we'll turn it over. So this is the top that I want to start rolling on. Put a little bit of glue here. I see Willie Nelson's face with glue on it. See how the aqua is starting to show? Alrighty. Now, my next strip. I want this part to be the part that shows, because there's mostly black. Now look, I want it to be mostly black. So I'm going to take a black marker. Actually, I'm going to use this end, because there's just that big white letter there, and I'm just going to blacken that. And that's all that's going to show. So there. So I want this part to be the outer, so I put it at the bottom of my strip, and I turn the strip over, and this is where I start rolling. Now I'm going to put a little tiny bit of glue on there, and then you try to put it so that you're as centered as can be on the bead, on the first roll. So you can see how I have a little bit of aqua sticking out on each side. I'm not going to be worried about it being perfect. Just going to start rolling, and that's how you make your layers. It's like making a tube bead, only you're making it with lots of layers, and you just make the strip of paper be a little bit smaller each time. I think I'm going to like this one. I like them all. Who am I kidding? So now you're going to see where there was white lettering there, but you can tell that it's all just solid black, which is what I wanted. Now I'm going to my 1/2 inch. I want the aqua to show, so I put it at the bottom of my strip, turn my strip over. This is where I start. Sometimes it's sticky enough that I don't need to add any glue. No, I need some glue. I'm dropping beads on the floor because of my crazy table that is so crooked. So I just kind of center it, and I start rolling. Magazine paper, boy, it can be, it can be slippery. It's not like copy paper. If you want to use copy paper, then you can just cut your strips and then just color the tips of each strip the color you want, and you're good to go. Okay, now we're going to finish off with the black, and once again, I want solid black. So let me take this tip here and color it. Let's see. So that's the one I want to show, so I have it at the bottom. I turn over, and here I go. One last strip. Whoops. Hard to hit when the strip is so tiny. Alright, and I just end it by, I usually give it a good squirt of glue. Just roll that in. Then when that dries, it will dry clear, and I will be able to coat it with my gloss that I use, which I use this stuff right here. It's simply acrylic gloss medium that I got at Walmart for like $4, but I don't see it online. I hope they still have some of that. So here's the bead. Mostly aqua and black showing. There's a little bit of red peeking through. I kind of like that. If you don't want that to show, you can take a marker, touch it up. And right now you're seeing a lot of the glue, but the glue will dry clear. I like it, I like it. Let's do the 3/4 inch bead. Now, should I do a different kind of color? I think the 3/4 inch, I don't know, I just like it. There's something about it that just looks, it's just so cute. It's so darling. It's so just little chunky little bead. It's so pretty. And I liked that one because of the yellow and the pink. So let's look for some color here. I'm dropping everything. I'm so fond of black, but we want some other color. Do we have anything bright? Don't want that. Let's look here. I swear, I get all these magazines for free, different promotions that they have. I don't even look at them. It's just for crafts. Let's see, I could use that pink. Okay, here's some yellow. Let's get this yellow. Oh, kind of like that purple. That's kind of cool. Ooh, the green is pretty. Oh, it's so hard to decide. Let's see. Okay, so here's some colors here. I'm going to go with the green and yellow. Just looks very spring-like. Okay, so for the 3/4 bead, I'll go with, I'm going to go with the green base. And, I'm going to cut the short way this time. Alright, so for 3/4 bead, my first cut is 3/4. And then a 1/4. Then with the other color, I'm going to do a half. Okay, we're going to do a 1/2 inch. And then an 1/8 of an inch. And what I do for this, that little tiny, instead of cutting it with the cutter, I just cut a sliver off. You can see, that's how big of a strip I'll be using. Just a little sliver like that. So we have our 3/4, 1/2 inch, 1/4, and our little sliver, which is as close to an 1/8 of an inch as we get. And we're off and running. I want this part to be the part showing, so I want it on the bottom. It is. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to start up here. If you find it's too hard to do with the magazine paper and the white glue, feel free to use a glue stick. I'll make sure that I am free here to move. I always forget that. Okay, so you see I let it go and it all spun apart, so we start over. We do that without swearing. I sometimes swear when I bead. And here comes our green, which is what we want to show, and it's lovely. Okay, now my yellow. Okay, somebody remind me that I have now 2 different beads on the floor along with a glue stick. So I have to find all those things or I won't sleep good at night. Light green and yellow is very spring-like. And if you want solid color beads and you don't want to color them yourself, go get some construction paper. You can make beads with construction paper too. Okay, next I want this green to show, so do this side up here. Not putting too much glue because I don't like it to be too slippery. I'm going to put a little bit there. See if I can scoot that guy over just a little bit. There we go. Now, last but not least, my little tiny strand. And, you know, it can be hard to line that up on top of itself, but so don't worry about it. You know, just do the best you can. If other colors peek through, well, that's what makes it pretty. See, there's some orange showing there. I do want to put a little bit of glue on this. And a nice little coating of glue. That keeps it from shifting around once it's dry. And we are done. And that will be very pretty when it's dry and glossed. I will show you what they look like in just a bit. It just dawned on me that while I'm glazing this bead, I should show you how I do it. I just put a little bit of the glaze on a piece of paper. I hold my bead with one paintbrush, and I take another paintbrush with the goop on it. And you can use just more white glue if you don't have any glaze, or you can use clear nail polish. But what I like to do is I like to brush it into the creases of the steps first on both sides, and that kind of like just, you know, guarantees that that bead is not going to shift because the glaze is going to make those steps stick together. And then I just brush it out to get any whatever big globs are there on both sides. And that's it. It looks pretty messy at the beginning, but it's going to dry clear. Let's do the next one now, the little one. See, what's good about a paintbrush, it's tapered, so no matter what size hole your bead is, you can push it down enough so that it will stick. And it'll hold your bead so it won't spin while you're glazing it. So I'm going to put glaze into the creases. It's like just forcing glaze to go in. And then I'm just going to brush out. Very relaxing. That's it. I did want to mention that when you're done glazing, you want to go ahead and wash your brush, because if you let it dry with the glaze on there, it's acrylic and it's going to dry stiff as a rock and you won't be able to use it again. But if you just, a little bit of water, I use a little bit of dish soap and I just wash that. I just like scrub it in the palm of my hand, let it dry, and it'll be fine. You can reuse it over and over and over again. So I'm going to let the beads dry, those 2 beads dry, and I will show you them in pictures right now. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!